Hey, what's going on, government class? Welcome back from spring break. It is Tuesday, March 15th. 16th. 16th. That's why I put it on the board, baby. Tuesday, March 16th. Our first American government class since that redonkulous weekly review quiz last week, our major test. Not even last week, 2 weeks ago. Great job on that, everybody. Well done. I know that was tough. We talked about how a bill becomes a law. So for last class review, that's what we need to talk about. However, I thought we'd do a little something different today. Instead of me just standing up here talking about what we learned last class and how a bill becomes law, that boring mumbo jumbo, I would show you this.
I'm just a bill.
Whew, you sure gotta climb a lot of steps to get to this Capitol building here in Washington. Well, I wonder who that sad little scrap of paper is.
I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. Well, it's a long, long journey to the capital city. It's a long, long wait while I'm sitting in committee. But I know I'll be a law someday. At least I hope and pray that I will. But today I am still just a bill.
Gee, Bill, you certainly have a lot of patience and courage.
Well, I got this far. When I started, I wasn't even a bill. I was just an idea. Some folks back home decided they wanted a law passed, so they called their local congressman, and he said, "You're right, there ought to be a law." Then he sat down and wrote me out and introduced me to Congress, and I became a bill. And I'll remain a bill until they decide to make me a law. I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And I got as far as Capitol Hill. Well, now I'm stuck in committee, and I'll sit here and wait while a few key congressmen discuss and debate whether they should let me be a law. I hope and pray that they will. But today I am still just a bill.
Listen to those congressmen arguing. Is all that discussion and debate about you?
Yeah, I'm one of the lucky ones. Most bills never even get this far. I hope they decide to report on me favorably, otherwise I may die.
Die?
Yeah, die in committee. Oh, but it looks like I'm going to live. Now I go to the House of Representatives and they vote on me.
If they vote yes, what happens?
Then I go to the Senate and the whole thing starts all over again.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And if they vote for me on Capitol Hill, well, then I'm off to the White House where I'll wait in a line with a lot of other bills for the president to sign. And if he signs me, then I'll be a law. How I hope and pray that he will. But today I am still just a bill.
You mean even if the whole Congress says you should be a law, the president can still say no?
Yes, that's called a veto. If the president vetoes me, I have to go back to Congress and they vote on me again, and by that time you're so
By that time, it's very unlikely that you become a law. It's not easy to become a law, is it?
No, but how I hope and pray that I will. But today I am still just a bill.
He signed your bill. Now you're a law.
Oh, yes.
Huh? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Taking it back old school for the 5-minute review. Whatcha! How many of you guys remember that? You probably don't even remember that. We had to watch that when I was a kid, when I was like, yay, hi. Just a wee little guy. So there you go. Now you can experience some of the misery that I had to experience as a kid. But that song's going to be stuck in your head for the rest of the day. I'm just a bill. Yeah, okay. Enough of that. What do we got today? Today we're going to be talking about the powers of government. Now, when I say that, I mean the powers of government for both state and national governments in the United States. We're going to be talking about 3 specific types of power that each, well, not that each government has, but that they kind of share between states and national. They don't just make laws, believe it or not. And we're going to learn a little bit about that today. So after that, we'll do some attendance and an assignment, obviously, and you'll be on your way on to Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, and then hopefully the weekend soon. So without any further ado, let's go ahead, take a look at some of the powers of government. All right, the 3 different types of powers we're going to talk about today, actually going to be more than 3 once we get down to the nitty-gritty, but are on the board right now. We have delegated powers, we have concurrent powers, and we have reserved powers. Let's go ahead and start off with delegated. I'm going to give you some brief notes for you to understand these. First of all, delegated powers are all powers from the, or I guess I should say for the, national government, meaning for the United States. Any delegated power is a power that the U.S. government has. Just the U.S., the national government. Now, on the other hand, reserved powers are for, you guessed it, the state government. Every single state has reserved powers. Remember when we were talking about Amendment 10 of the Bill of Rights? It says all powers not for the national government are reserved for the states. Some things like, how you want to handle elections. Some states have a holiday for election day so you can go vote. Some do not. We have a fill-in-the-arrow ballot. Other states have a little screen that they touch, a little lever that they pull, a little chad that they push through. Those are all state powers. So there are different powers for the states. Obviously, they have to have different powers than the national government because they don't have the same issues that the national government has. Alabama doesn't worry about another country invading it or going to war with it. Alabama is just Alabama. It's just a state. Same as Arizona. The U.S. government, though, they may have to go to war with another country. So obviously, different issues for different types of government. Now you can see the concurrent here. I've made my box so that it has a little bit of reserved and a little bit of delegated. And think of this almost like a Venn diagram, because concurrent powers are powers that both let's not even say U.S., we'll just say national. Both the national and state governments have. So both national and state, and we'll say governments with an S there. Now, today what you're going to do is you're going to do a little bit of reading, and you're going to fill out a graphic organizer that I sent you this morning with notes and definitions on these 3 types of powers. However, I do want to help you out. That's why I separated them. But there's one other thing I do want to tell you about the delegated powers. The delegated powers is a little tricky. There are 3 types of delegated powers, really. And that's it for the national government. The first are called, and I might be writing too small, let me get it bigger. Expressed powers. Expressed. You're going to want to tell me the definition of what an expressed power is, as well as an example. Number 2 is going to be the exact opposite. Implied. Implied powers. Again, in your graphic organizer, you're going to want to tell me the definition of implied powers and give me an example. And then finally, the third, and I want to make sure I get this spelling right. Oh yeah, we were good the whole way. Inherent. Inherent powers. All 3 of these fall under delegated powers of the national government. In your graphic organizer, I want you to give me an example of each one and give me the definition of each one. Then, for reserved powers, you're going to go ahead and tell me some reserved powers that the states have, that only the states can have. You can start by saying, election day and how they handle elections. That could be one. But that's a good point. I'm glad I brought that up. I want 5 examples of delegated powers. I want 5 examples of reserved powers. And then concurrent powers don't have anything here. All you got to do, same thing. I want you to tell me, give me the definition of concurrent powers and give me 5 examples of concurrent powers. Now, concurrent powers, remember, are things that they both have the ability to do. Let me give you your first one, and you can use this on your graphic organizer today as number 1. Both the national government and the state government can do what we talked about last class. What did we talk about last class? I'm just a bill, you know, Capitol Hill. I don't remember the rest of the words. It's just stuck up in there. That's right. A concurrent power is that both the national government and the state governments can make laws. That's why in the United States, they have all these different laws about, you know, what you can do, what you can't do. Federal laws. You can't open somebody else's mail. That's a federal law that you would be breaking. State law is much different. For example, in California, it is not illegal to smoke marijuana, but in somewhere like, I don't know, Texas, it is, because there is a state law for that. They both can create laws for themselves. So that would be a concurrent power. Make sure you give me 5 examples of that. So what's going to happen is I'm going to put up the reading. It's about 3 pages, pages 95 to 98 in our books. You're going to read through that, and then in the graphic organizer that I sent you today, I sent it to you to your email at 8 a.m. this morning, you're going to go ahead and fill out the 3 different sections. For the delegated powers, you're going to give me definitions of these 3 and examples. 5, you know, don't even worry about the 5 examples total. Let's cross that off. For delegated powers, all I want you to do is define each of these. What is an express power? What's an implied power? What's an inherent power? And then give me an example of each. So really, you'll have 6 things here. You'll have the definition, an example for this. The definition and example for that guy. The definition and an example for that guy. So you'll fill that out with that information. Then for reserved, you're just going to give me 5 examples of reserved powers for the states. Then right here for concurrent, which will be in the middle, let me double check. It certainly is. You're going to give me 5 examples of powers that both the national government and the state government have. And yes, you can use number 1 as making laws. And that is it. That's going to serve as your attendance and your assignment. This is what your paper looks like in case you haven't checked your email out yet. Just like I drew it up on the board, we got delegated, we got concurrent, and we got reserved right then and there. Go ahead, read through these pages. I'll even send them to your email so that you guys can see them a little bit clearer, since sometimes it doesn't show up that well on these videos. And that's it. That's due today. That's your assignment. That's your attendance. So get to it. Get it to me. If you have any questions, I'm here. I'll help you out. If not, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Yeah, that's it. We'll see you on Thursday. Take care.